always been one of the most stressful parts for me of any trip. It honestly doesn't seem to matter how long or short the trip actually is. I always feel like I need more stuff than I truly do. I wind up overpacking. So how do I rectify that? I'm actually getting ready to go on a 4-day weekend, 4th of July wedding trip. I'm in the wedding. There's a pre-barbecue, the wedding, a brunch the next day, and I'm going to the amusement park and seeing other family while I'm there. So how do I pack for something like this without feeling like I'm overdoing it? And how do I do it particularly with only a carry-on bag? I remember the time when Air Canada left my luggage in Canada and I was in Denmark with no clothes. I've learned my lesson of not having my clothes with me, and if I can take a carry-on and just do that, I will. How am I going to pack my carry-on bag for a 4-day multi-event wedding and not go completely overboard? So let's get into my suitcase so I can show you the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to pack more efficiently.
Okay, so I have the Monos Carry-On Pro. I absolutely love this suitcase. To be honest, the thing that originally drew me to it was this really pretty blue color, but after that I realized that it has just like amazing organizational capabilities. As you can see, there's just like all these different compartments and ways that you can push things down, flatten things, just to make it easier for you to actually pack the things that you need. And the other thing that's really cool is this front compartment. So if you don't have TSA pre-check, this thing is an absolute freaking godsend. So you can very easily put in your laptops and not need to like dig through everything to be able to grab out what you need. And so I just would highly recommend it for even just that reason. It is on the pricier side, but that's unfortunately the luggage world. So the first thing that we're gonna go ahead and put into my suitcase is going to be my bridesmaid's dress. As I said, I am going to a wedding, so this is gonna be that first thing that if it doesn't make it in, I am just SOL. I also have to, of course, pack shoes. And I think that one of the things with traveling is it's so easy to want to pack multiple shoes, but with this trip I'm trying to be really careful. I'm packing up 3 pairs, so I've got the shoes for the wedding, shoes for traveling, and then basically an extra pair of sandals, and that's really about it. The next thing that we're going to add into my suitcase is going to be one of the most essential things, which is my toiletry bag. Now this I actually got on Amazon, and it is probably my favorite one ever. I've had a lot that have been like big and bulky, but this one is nice and slender, and it has the ability to like fold out and you can hang it on the door. It does come in 2 different sizes. I have the medium. There's also a large, which can hold like full size bottles of things. Personally, I thought the medium was fine, especially since I'm putting this in a carry-on bag. I think it is the perfect size. It has truly become one of my travel best friends. Now, as I am going to an amusement park on this trip, I am going to need a fanny pack or a bum bag or whatever you call it. And fortunately, these are pretty small and I'm able to squish it just right here with all of these other items. I'm also going to bring my makeup bag with me because I'm going to need this for pretty much every single day. Unfortunately, again, it's pretty small and I can just squeeze it in with all of these. But at this point, since I do have this beautiful suitcase here, I'm able to tie my straps down and we'll be able to connect everything and compress, which is going to be one of the most useful things about trying to get everything into a carry-on bag. So moving on to the actual clothes part of this entire ordeal. As you are aware, I have a lot of different events that it's going to be happening. Best thing to do is try to take things that are reusable. So if you can reuse the same shirt, the same pants, something like that, that is going to save you so much space. And we are going to be using these packing cubes. What I love about these is you can put your clothes inside of them, and then even after that, these are specifically compression cubes. So once you get everything in there, we're going to actually use the zipper to tighten everything down to save even more space. We're gonna go ahead and place this right here in my suitcase, and I do actually have one more dress that I didn't put into this cube because I didn't want to overstretch it because these things do rip. So I'm gonna put it into a regular packing cube, truly just for like compartmentalizing and organization. So here is that other pair of shoes that I mentioned. I will have 2 in my suitcase, 1 on my person, and this is one of those times where you absolutely need to be multifunctional. So make sure that you've got something comfortable. Comfort and reusability is absolutely key. And of course, one of the things that for some reason we always seem to almost forget when we are packing is going to be our undergarments. Now, of course, I have said this whole thing is about not overpacking, but this is one of those particular items where I'm like, if you need an extra 2 or 3 or 12, just do it, because things happen, and it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So as long as they fit, I would say go for it. Additionally, ladies out there, don't forget your bag for any potential things where, Mother Nature may not necessarily be our friends. At this point, I want to highlight, this is kind of why packing cubes are another reason they're so nice, because you can just see this beautiful game of Tetris we've been playing. And oh yeah, also don't forget your socks. At this rate, we are good to go ahead and zip this up. And there is a little bit of space here. It's not perfectly flush, but we are really trying to be as multifunctional as possible as we can here. But this is still going to go ahead and zip just fine. Moving on now to the electronics. As I said, this is one of the biggest things that drew me to the suitcase in the first place, is this front pocket. So I can put in my laptop and the cables, and everything is padded, and it is a beautiful thing. And finally, we zip up the front and we are done.
That is my suitcase packed for a 4-day multi-event trip that honestly, I kind of need a different outfit for almost every single event, which makes it so hard. But that is what I was able to do with this suitcase. I really recommend suitcases that have this front pocket so you can have easy access to your laptop and things, especially if you don't have TSA pre-check. Just makes it so much easier to grab things. Now, I can definitely do this trip with maybe one more bag with a backpack, but I'm trying to keep it minimal, and I'm also not trying to bring anything back with me because I just don't think it's necessary. So I mostly highly just suggest not bringing like really bulky clothes. Try to bring things that are easy to fit into compression cubes that will help you save space. Don't bring anything that is really not necessary. Try to have things you can repeatedly use, and you should have a pretty easy time, I would say, packing for your trip. So if it weren't for needing a bridesmaid's dress and an extra pair of dress shoes, this would have been a much less packed process. But if you have to go on an out-of-town wedding where you're really trying to keep your luggage to a minimum, this is how I would do it. I hope this was helpful. If you like content like this, travel tips and tricks, or if you just want to follow me for my other vlogs, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Slow down, hold on tight now. It's okay to meet me at the front line. I've got cold feet, winter drives me